Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I do apologise for not having done a video for so long. We've actually been in the middle of moving house and we've had lots going on. It's been a crazy time. So this is the first chance I've had to actually sit down and do a video. So I apologise for that delay. My nails did actually get completely wrecked in our move and they are in recovery mode at the moment. So we're not going to do a design today. So I thought what I'd do is I'd take the opportunity to do a bit of a video on e-files, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos that say, if you're working on your left hand, you need to be in forward mode. If you're working on your right hand, you should be in reverse. That's only true to an extent. That is not strictly true. So I wanted to cover off on today and which mode you should be in. So for those of you that are not aware, all e-files, or most e-files at least, have a forward and a reverse mode. Generally, by default, they're in forward mode, but as you can see from mine, I have a button to switch it through to reverse and a little green light comes on. Others have a toggle switch, so you've got forward one side, left the other side. It doesn't really matter however your e-file does it, but what mode you're in is very, very important when you are using your e-file. So to me, more than worrying about whether you're on your left hand or working on your right hand, the main thing you need to think about is which direction your e-file is working in. So what I mean by that, whenever you use an e-file, you always go in one direction. Please never ever do this sort of motion where you're going backwards and forwards, either side to side or up and down the nail. Never ever do that. That's a really bad idea for several reasons. First of all, you're highly likely to burn yourself, because if you're going side by side like that, you're generating an awful lot of friction, which generates an awful lot of heat and is going to give you rings of fire or burns effectively. The other reason it's a really bad idea, because 50% of the time your e-file is going to be going in the wrong direction, which makes it very likely that your e-file will slip. And because of your momentum, you're going backwards and forwards, you're going to slip around the nail. And if you're using a bit like I've got here, which has got teeth on it, you're highly likely to cut the skin around your finger. And the third reason that it's a really bad idea, sorry about that, my phone just rang. The third reason not to do it is because you're very likely to overfile your nail. So when you use an e-file, you generate a lot of dust because you're removing either gel polish or builder gel or acrylic, whatever it is that you're removing. You generate a lot of dust. And what you need to do is clear that dust as you're working. So if you're using your file, going a couple of strokes, I'd get a brush, wipe the dust off so you can actually see how much you've gone through your polish. If you don't do that, then you're likely to overfile. You're going to come down to your natural nail before you even realize it, and that's more likely if you're just going backwards and forwards. So long story short, please don't do that. Always go in one direction. So the important thing to note is when your e-file is moving from the right side of your nail to the left side of your nail, you need to be in forward mode. Okay, so here I've got my left hand, I've got my e-file in my right hand, and I'm going from the right side of my nail to the left side. Okay, that is also true if I was to swap hands. So if I'm working on my right hand and I've got the e-file in my left hand, if I'm working from the right side of the nail to the left side, I need to be in forward mode. Okay, now you might say that feels unnatural and I would never do that. So if you're removing gel polish, yes, you probably won't do that because it is a less likely motion. But if you are doing nail prep with your e-file, you would absolutely do that. So if I was to swap this out for my cuticle bit, so say let's pretend I'm doing cuticle work. To do proper cuticle prep, you need to start sort of towards the center of your nail and work to the left. Okay, so I would be in forward mode doing that because I'm working from the right side of my nail to the left side. Okay, and you would do that on all 5 fingers on this hand. You would then stop your e-file, change to reverse mode, and you would go from the left to the right. Okay, so that is the important thing, much less than which hand am I working on. If you are ever going from the right side of your nail to the left, you need to be in forward mode. Whenever you're working from the left side of your nail to the right, you need to be in reverse mode. So odds are you're actually going to change direction several times when you're doing your manicure, especially if you're doing nail prep. But even if you're removing gel polish, you might have a bit of stubborn lifting here or something like that. So you might just change the direction of your e-file to do that. So keep that in mind. It really depends on which direction your e-file is traveling across your nail. The main time that it's really important to think about which hand you're actually on is when you are filing from the cuticle to the free edge of your nail. Okay, so in that instance, absolutely, you should always be in forward mode if you are working on your left hand. And as I swap to my working on my right hand, I would put my e-file in reverse to work from the cuticle to the free edge. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. Predominantly think about which direction your e-file is going. If you're going side to side, if you're starting from the right side going to the left, you need to be in forward mode. If you're starting on the left side of your nail and going to the right, you need to be in reverse. And if you're going from cuticle to free edge, when you're working on your left hand, you need to be in forward mode. And when you swap sides and you're working on your right hand, you need to be in reverse mode when going from the cuticle to the free edge. I hope that makes sense and I hope that helps. Thanks everyone, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.